Hey, what is up, everybody? This is BR here, and right now I'm going to make a video that is a little bit different than most of my other content. Instead of it just being purely commentary or being a video essay, instead this one's going to be more of a vlog-style kind of video where I talk about some of the new rock music that I am listening to. Right now I'm just only doing rock because it's my favorite genre. It's basically my whole music library at the moment. You know, I love my Audio Slave, I love my Interpol, I love my Red Hot Chili Peppers, anything rock. Seriously, I know that's not really a diverse kind of library, I guess, but the thing is that, you know, you throw me any type of rock, you know, death metal, alternative, indie, as long as it's good and as long as it's rock, most of the time I'll give you a thumbs up. So, you know, I've always wanted to share this because I've always wanted to look for more rock music, you know. Sometimes I do think that my library just gets stale after a while, you know, without any new rock releases. So I went out there, I looked for a 2021 new rock song playlist, and I have listened to at least 50 of them. I'll leave the playlist down in the description, but basically, in this video, I am going to be explaining, or at least rating, each of those songs based on my opinion on whether or not, you know, they're worth listening to. So that way, you know, you guys can check out, you know, the songs that I recommend and maybe even make your own opinions. So if you just want some nice, fast, quick recommendations for new rock songs, just in case maybe your own playlist has just gotten really, really stale. But for now, let's just get into it. Let me first explain, you know, how the rating goes and how I rate these songs. So for each song, I'm going to spend a couple seconds explaining, you know, what the song is and, you know, what's it about. I'm not going to spend more than at least 20 seconds on each song. You know, it's going to go really quickly. And at the end of it, or even beforehand, in case it's like not really necessary to talk about like what it's about, I'll give my rating. And it will be a rating from between 0 and 5. So going from decreasing to 5, 0 stands for complete, utter garbage. Trash. Get out of here. I'm not going to listen to it. You lost me as a listener. I'm out. Thank you very much for trying. I'll catch you later. 1 out of 5 stands for it's a bad song. It's just fundamentally a bad song. It doesn't sound good. It's just something that I can objectively say it's a bad song. Like, you really have to have an acquired taste to like that song. Like so niche where it's even so bad it's good. But even then, it's like it's kind of unfathomable how some people can even like it. You know, that's a 1 out of 5. It's a song. It's bad. Let's move on to the next one. Now, 2 out of 5 is a little bit different, right? So if 1 is a bad song, 2 is an okay song. It's okay. It might have some parts that, you know, that are kind of good, you know, but maybe there's something overall that just bugs me about it. Maybe it has an annoying riff. Maybe it just has something that doesn't capture my attention. Maybe it's a little bit boring, too derivative, avant-garde for me, to the point where I'm just not enjoying listening to it. You know, somebody else could probably get some enjoyment out of it, maybe as a filler or something, but as far as I go, it's a song not made for me. And for a lot of these songs, that's pretty much what happens, you know. 2 out of 5 doesn't mean it's a bad song. It's okay. You know, I can see why other people might enjoy it, but at least for me, it's not my kind of song. It's not my kind of rock song. It's just not for me. For 3 out of 5, that is a good song. Thumbs up, good song. It passes a threshold of goodness to the point where, you know, where it's just kind of there. It's a good song. It's something I wouldn't skip. You know, I wouldn't be looking for it, but it's something that I can enjoy on a drive or, you know, just walking out somewhere. It's something that I can listen to, and I'm not going to be like, oh man, I really want to skip this. No, sure, I might skip it, you know, if I don't want to listen to it. But if it just comes up on the radio or I get recommended to it, or, you know, it's a good song. It's almost the equivalence of filler, you know, just something to have in between the really good songs. This is where we go to number 4. Now, number 4 out of 5, is when we have these really great tracks that I think are just great. I want to look for them. I want to listen to them again. You know, they have me rocking my head back and forth. You know, they got me, you know, snapping my fingers, you know, clapping to the beat, stomping my feet. So just something that is just so great. it could have good lyrics, it could have a great singer, it could have, you know, one hell of a performance, production, anything. 4 out of 5 means it's a great song. I actively recommend it, you know, and it's great. It's a great song. It catches my attention. It's not boring whatsoever. I will look for it. I will have it on my playlist to just listen to, which I should actually recommend that anything above 3 out of 5, I would recommend to a playlist, because, you know, again, you want to have some fillers in between the great stuff. The great stuff, 4 out of 5, great. You know, there's no question about it. It's a great track. It's fun to listen to. I bumped my head to it. It's great. Finally, we have 5 out of 5. Now, this one's gonna be really, really, really rare. 5 out of 5 means a masterpiece. It means the Bohemian Rhapsodies. It means the Stairway to Heavens. It means the Like a Stones. It means the Wish You Were Here. Those songs, masterpieces that would otherwise, you know, it'll be remembered for generations. Spoiler alert, there is none in this list, because none of these I really do think, okay, maybe one might actually be 5 out of 5, but even then, it's like, it's really arguable. Like, it's 5 out of 5s don't just come out of the blue. I don't think, you know, like, after one listen, I think I'm just gonna give it a 5 out of 5, or even after 5 listens. It'll probably be around time, like, after a while, maybe like about a year after, you know, I'll consider making it a 5 out of 5. Of course, my opinion doesn't matter, but at this very point, you know, 5 out of 5 is really that just masterpiece threshold where it's just to such high regard. It is masterful. It has tons of skill, tons of blood, sweat, and tears put into it, to the point where it's just, it's honestly like, how has nobody ever, you know, made this song before? I will always have high hopes, but I always like having that kind of impossible threshold to pass, because otherwise, you know, I'd be giving regular songs 5 out of 5s, and that doesn't mean anything. So 5 out of 5's extremely rare. It's not on this video, but I mean, after saying all that, let's get into it, and let's get into the first song. So Mean by Poppy. 2 out of 5. It is a sound that personally I do think is a little generic. I don't like the lyrics. The lyrics don't sound that well. I think it had like a kind of an okay solo. It's kind of ironic when the artist is called Poppy, and you have this really poppy song that's just, I mean, it's rock, but it's just not for me. It's probably for something a little bit more, someone with a little bit less emphasis on the rock side and more on the singing side. There's probably something in the lyrics that makes it a much deeper song. I tried listening to it, but honestly, I kind of just felt bored about the entire thing. I will note that the overall track is okay. It's just, you know, the chorus is very generic, but everything around it tends to like break that mold of that generic song. Maybe if there was a little bit more oomph added to the chorus, then maybe it could have actually been like a 3 out of 5, something put into filler, but as, you know, I kind of don't want to listen to it ever again. Absurd by Guns N' Roses. It is bad. 1 out of 5. The reason why? It is a very generic sounding song, at least the instrumentals. They sound very generic. Axl's voice is just not the same anymore. It is so deep into effects, you know, and I'm assuming that's because of old age. It's just a bad track, and honestly, deep down inside, it just sounds like a Rage Against the Machine song without the flow, you know. I really feel bad, because I always have this thing about, you know, professionals always at least, you know, pushing out an okay song, but man, Guns N' Roses, yeah, no, it's not the same. It's not the same without Slash and everybody else, man. Axl, just give up, man. KK's Priest, they have a song. They have 2 songs. This first one is called Raise Your Fist. They're both 3 out of 5s. You know, it's that classic dad rock kind of sound. You know, you got Metallica or AC/DC, somewhere around there. You know, it's of course it's something new, but around the same time, it's something that's, you know, the same old, same old. It's not bad. It's more of the same, and honestly, a lot of people just want that, more of the same, and that's not bad. But there's probably better versions of this song somewhere out there made by, you know, older groups. If you enjoy dad rock, you'll enjoy this band. I enjoy it. I like the songs. It's definitely going to my playlists because, you know, you just need something a little bit different. More of the same, but with a little bit of uniqueness. Sugar Summertime by America's Sweetheart. Now, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. And I know, listening to it, it sounds weird. It starts out kind of heavyish, and then it goes into this rock and roll, and then it has a little bit touch of alternative into it. But honestly, it's something just fun to listen to. It's nothing too deep. It's just talking about the summertime, you know, and it's kind of like that bubblegum pop catchiness. And you know, not every song has to be super deep. And honestly, it's not so complicated. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because, you know, it's kind of fun to listen to, you know, every once in a while. After listening to some emotional songs, after listening to some like master craftsmanships, you know, it's nice to like sit back and relax with something bubblegum popish, you know. A little bit of pop doesn't hurt every once in a while, especially something that's like artificial innocence, you know. Freaks by Surf Curse. I love this song. 4 out of 5. It has a banging intro. Alright, the melody, I love the melody. The sound of it is that early 2010 sound that, you know, I just love listening to, you know? Especially from Vinewood Boulevard Radio, if you play GTA 5, you know, all those songs, it has that kind of sound and it belongs there. I love the song. One criticism I would have with it is the fact that the melody from one of the electric guitars that's on the right channel is just played throughout the entire song. It didn't have to be. Honestly, it should have just been cut out with some of the bridging parts, you know, and then brought back for when the verse comes. But overall, it's still a great song. It's fun to listen to. It's nice, something easy to listen to. It's great. I love it. And honestly, I really wish that it wasn't Vinewood Boulevard Radio. Good morning, Los Santos. I just took some Adderall with my coffee, and I feel like my skin is gonna fall off. You're listening to Vinewood Boulevard Radio. Fleabag by Youngblood. I was honestly expecting to hate this. A lot of Youngblood stuff I haven't been a fan of it, you know? It sounded like, you know, a bunch of scene stuff, especially the music videos. They always caught me off guard. But as far as Fleabag goes, it's Green Day. It's that punk pop sound. It has a catchy chorus. It's nothing too spectacular, but it's a good sound. It's a lot better than his other songs, and it has a pretty kick-ass solo. Maybe not kick-ass, but at least it's something serviceable, and you know, there was some effort put into it. It's a 3 out of 5. It is filler, but because I mean we've already listened to Green Day, so I mean Green Day exists. You can just, you know, listen to their stuff, and you pretty much have the same gist as this song. The R Train Band, Rock On. Rock On by the R Train Band. Now, get ready for the biggest disappointment. This could have easily been an instant classic dad rock piece. Nothing spectacular, 3 out of 5. But what really ruins it is the fact that the voice of the singer is auto-tuned. No idea why. Maybe the singer couldn't sing or something. I feel like if he would have just used his normal voice, it would have been great. But honestly, it's something that it's a little bit disappointing because his like, you know, his yells and his rock on, all that stuff. It just gets ruined by the auto-tune, and it was really a huge disappointment because it is a catchy tune. It's not bad. 3 out of 5. It's just one of those disappointments that honestly could have been easily avoided by the guy just singing with his natural voice. Unless, of course, couldn't, which that case, I still probably would take that instead. Adrenaline by Ex-Ambassador. It's more of a pop song than rock song, I'll be honest. After a while, I think the 2-minute mark, it does become more rock. It is pretty catchy, and because of that, it really is kind of like a 3 out of 5. It's nice filler. It's nothing to write home about. It's great. I mean, it's good. It's a good song. You know, take a listen to it. Maybe you'll find it a lot more appreciation than I did. Hold Her Hand by Summer Rain. 4 out of 5 instantly. It is a great song. It is heavily with emotion. It's a love letter song, even though it has kind of simple lyrics. The instrumentals carry a lot of the song, and it's just great. I love the solo. It has a lot of feeling. It's really just one of those alt-rock anthems, you know? It's alternative rock from like the early 2000s to maybe even the mid-2000s. I love the drop. It's easy to listen to. It's something that I will listen to repeatedly, and I still do. It's a great track. You know, I love Interpol, you know? I love those kinds of just, you know, driving songs that just are just heavy with emotion. Maybe not as cynical as Interpol, but it's a great track. I definitely recommend it to you. 4 out of 5 guaranteed. Set You Free by Black Label Society. 4 out of 5. It has a messy but enjoyable guitar tone. I love the heaviness of it. It is just, it's one that I would just catch myself just banging my head towards, you know? I love the solo. I love how it tries to, you know, just derive from a little bit from, like, the status quo. But it's just one of those. It's really Metallica inspired, as far as I can tell. And it's just a great song to bop your head towards, you know? It's nice, it's heavy, it's thick. Hell yeah, you know what? 4 out of 5, no regrets. Imaginary Friends by Des Rocks. Oh man, the intro did not do me anything good, man. I was ready to give this song a 0 out of 5 because of that intro. It's just loudness for the sake of loudness with effects and whatever. It was just one of those things. But however, once it hits to the actual verse, it gets a little bit better, and the chorus is this nice alternative dance beat that I think it's really catchy. I do have to question whether or not this is actually rock, which that becomes a topic throughout the entire list. Just a bunch of rock songs that aren't actually rock. But if I had the ability to just have the chorus and maybe the second half of the song, I would even cut out the bridge. It's alright. 2 out of 5. You know, it's not for me. The entirety of the song is just not for me. If I could just cut out the chorus, you know, or not cut out the chorus, but at least isolate the chorus, isolate some of the latter half of the song, I would have made it a 3 out of 5. Going Ghost by Jairus Johnson. It's interesting. It's mixing pop punk with rapping. Is it rock though? I have no idea. I don't know if you would classify this as rock. I personally wouldn't. It's some of it is pretty catchy. 2 out of 5. It's not for me. There's not really much else to say about the song, honestly. It's an acquired taste. Sick and Tired Part 2, featuring Jessica Robb. It has good vocals, a little bit, you know, generic, but I really like the pre-chorus, and the chorus itself is also pretty catchy. It's nothing to write home about. 3 out of 5. It's a good song. Stratego by Iron Maiden. Alright, I don't know if this is a bigger disappointment than Rock On, but what I noticed is that the vocals were really soft for an Iron Maiden song. A lot of the vocals were really drowned out by the instrumentals. I think maybe there was something wrong with the mixing. The vocals were just a little bit too soft. It's an Iron Maiden song. It's good, you know, it's good. 3 out of 5. It's an Iron Maiden song. It's more of the same, kind of a trend that we see a lot nowadays, you know. It's a good song. Did it have to be 5 minutes though? Again, that's another trend that gets to happen again. It's a lot of these songs are really long for no reason, and honestly, 5-minute songs or 4-minute songs should be cut down to 3-minute songs. You know, you'll see me complain about this a bit more later on in the list. Travel in Time by Quiet Like a Thief. It is a 3 out of 5. It's a nice pop-punk song. Not much to say. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit repetitive, you know, just hearing the singer. It gets the job done in 2 minutes. One criticism I would have to say is the singer. I don't know if maybe his voice is a little bit too high, or if maybe it's too soft. I really don't know what's wrong with it. There is something that kind of just like, you know, it doesn't fall in line with me. But it's a good okay. It's a good song, not okay. Good song. 3 out of 5. Play Pretend by Caspr featuring Travis Barker. 3 out of 5. Now, but I will say that this is one of the higher 3 out of 5s that I got into. The intro really did hook me. It has this nice little alternative rock sound, kind of like the Smashing Pumpkins. The vocals were a little bit too whiny. It has that kind of like whiny throat sound that you hear, like that song from Spider-Verse. I don't remember the name of the song. Aside from that, the verse was pretty nice. The chorus was pretty nice. It's 3 out of 5. It's a great song. I will say that the verses are actually, you know, kind of a good mood to, you know, to listen to. You know, it's kind of mood. Wasteland by Seether. All right, it has a nice little fake out intro. The only thing that I really do hate about these kinds of intros is the fact that all of that energy from the beginning of the song gets dropped immediately, by the first verse, and that annoys me, because if you're gonna have so much energy in the beginning, you know, don't just drop it to make it sound different. Also, don't just drop it to make it sound more emotional. You know, it's just more annoying, really, because I mean, you just hear like this really nice intro. It's hard. It's like you're all right, you know, you're getting to the groove, and then you just drop it. Like, okay, cool, thanks. You know, are you gonna bring it back later? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Seether, I mean, it doesn't really suffer from that. It carries a good heavy sound, but again, it didn't have to be 4 minutes. No one wanna read Tolstoj by Pankhurst. I hope I said that right. Alright, 4 out of 5. Alright, I love ska. Alright, it is immediate high energy. It's great to listen to. It is, you know, standout from this entire playlist. It's ska inspired. I love it. It's a total headbanger. I would definitely, you know, be listening to this while playing Tony Hawk. All right, it's just one of those songs where it's like it's great. It's from another era, but it's made nowadays. And honestly, it's a great song. 4 out of 5. I highly recommend it. Bad at Love by Mayday Parade. 2 out of 5. It's an emotional ballad, but it sounds really corporate. The lyrics are just uninspired. I don't really like it. Again, I have to ask, is it rock though? Personally, no. The singer does have a good voice, I will say that, and that tends to be you know, prerequisite with a lot of these like corporate sounding songs. The singer usually tends to have a really good voice, and I like his voice. Back from the Dead by Hillstorm. 3 out of 5. There is definitely some Aussie inspiration. The song has continuous energy from the intro to later on. The chorus does kind of lose me a little. I don't really like it, but you know what? Overall, it's a good song. 3 out of 5. Great to have on your playlist. My Fate by The Dead Daisies. 3 out of 5. It's a good hard rock song. The verse does bore me a little, but the chorus and the riff do have me headbanging a little. It's a good song. 3 out of 5. The Writing on the Wall, Iron Maiden. 3 out of 5. It's a good song. That's all I got to say. Quiet Town by The Killers. 4 out of 5. It is a driving, grooving, soft song. It has unique instrumentation, and the delivery of the vocals make it super unique compared to something else. You know, it kind of does that like reading / singing kind of vocal style that's just kind of makes it more impactful. It makes it more unique. You know, he could have sung up through the entire thing, but he's able to get a lot of more words out of it. It's unique to listen to. It keeps it from sounding generic. The lyrics are very heavy. You know, I especially like that little intro that it has in the beginning. These notes were written way before I read the lyrics, like before I read the lyrics' meanings. And man, that is a strong emotional song. It is good. It's emotional down from the heart, you know. It talks about that quiet town. You know what? You gotta listen to it. Listen to it on your free time. I highly recommend it. This is one of those songs that I would push up to maybe even 4.5. It's too early to tell, you know, to call it a masterpiece, but it's a good song. I really highly do recommend it. Ashes by Not My God. 0 out of 5. Best vocals, my ass. It is boring, it is terrible, and it's not even rock! Seriously! What the fuck? Bitter Taste by Billy Idol. 3 out of 5. It's a nice driving song. Billy Idol can still sing. It didn't have to be 5 minutes. Alright, or Anthem for America by Crazy Lixx. 4 out of 5. It's a great dad rock kind of song, you know. It's just that kind of like hard metal kind of song, but what really makes it a 4 out of 5 for me is the lyrics, because, you know, Anthem for America kind of sounded like there was an American band talking about, you know, the greatness of America for some reason, or maybe it was just something like that today, because it's something very surface level. It is kind of a surface level song, but the thing about the track is that it's not actually made by Americans. Contrary, it's actually made by Swedish people. It's a Swedish rock band, and they're making an anthem for America to criticize how it has changed in the music way, or at least maybe even a little bit in the culture way, where, you know, the rock scene used to be just so anti-conformist. Now it's a lot more conformist, it's a lot more corporate. especially after its day in mainstream. You know, that's kind of one thing that attracts me to it, and it's kind of funny to just, you know, a Swedish rock band is saying, man, you guys used to be great. Yeah, they're right. Man, these Swedish guys are rocking like it was the 80s, and it is a great tribute. It's great. One True Prince by Don Rocco. I enjoyed the heavy intro, but it also does that thing where it just cuts off that intro to go into something a little bit more quiet once it gets to the first verse. Again, it's a pet peeve of mine, but it happens so fucking often. But another criticism is the fact that the voice sounds a little filtered. I get a little disassociated with the song and the vocals, but once we get to the chorus, it starts getting a lot better, and it has tons of energy after that fact. Flux by Poppy, 2 out of 5. The intro is annoying as fuck, whatever the hell was happening on this left channel. It has dance instrumentals, it is a lot more pop-focused. It's fun to listen to, a little generic. Once it gets to the screaming vocals, no, I'm kind of like, no thank you. No thank you. Look, there have been a lot of female singers who can scream well, you know, scream and sing. She is not one of them. It doesn't sound like singing while screaming, it sounds like screaming words. Kind of like if somebody was being murdered, honestly. 2 out of 5. In Shadowland, Bruce Sudano. Sudano. 4 out of 5. It is a mellow track. It is very gentle. I love the acoustic sound. I haven't had a listen to a new acoustic song, rock song, for a while now. You know, a lot of people tend to forget that that a lot of, you know, heavier songs, you know, could be done on acoustic. You know, acoustic guitar should never be taken out of the equation. It is very emotional. It has tons of emotional value. I love the music video. Take a listen to it. 4 out of 5. I highly recommend it. Torch by Black Veil Brides. This is another song that I thought I wasn't going to like, or at the very least tolerate. You know, these kind of groups that make, you know, these scene group songs. I don't know what the fuck to call them. They used to be called emo or whatever. That's how they looked like. It looked very edgy, but honestly, aside from the fake out again, which I want people to stop faking out. God damn it! If you have a good intro, don't fucking kill it by the verse. I like the solo. It's a good song. I'm not really that much of a fan of the chorus or the verse. It's acceptable. Not really that fun of the vocals either, but you know, at least it's actual rock. It's a good song. It's not bad. 3 out of 5. I can listen to this, you know, while doing something, I guess. So this is the other KK's Priest song that I should have talked about earlier. Brothers of the Road. It's dad metal, dad rock. I don't know what you want to call it. 3 out of 5. It's a good song. That's all I need to say. It's a good song. Rain by Grandson and Jesse Reyes from Suicide Squad. 1 out of 5. Again, this isn't rock. I mean, it has a solo near the end, but honestly, it's just so boring and uninspired. It really is. It's a movie track. What was I supposed to fucking expect? Start Making Sense by Ryan and Pony. I think this is one that was actually released in 2020, so I'm kind of breaking my whole listening to new songs from 2021, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that it was in this playlist because it is an instant 4 out of 5. It has a lot of good things going for it. I love the duo of, you know, them singing. They have great voices. It has a great melody, great riff. I love the chorus. It's nice and catchy. It's kind of like that prime example of indie rock and alternative rock. You know, I can catch myself singing to the chorus. You know, it's a good song. It's a great song, actually. 4 out of 5. I will actively be listening to this one over and over again. Notches by Joe Bonamassa. I think that's how I wrote in my notes. Yeah, let's go with that. Dude, it is a good driving song. I love the riff. I love the blues and country inspiration. Probably didn't have to be 4 minutes, but even then, honestly, you know, there's some songs that you wish weren't 4 minutes, and then there's some other ones that you're kind of okay with it being 4 minutes, you know? 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this track. I will be listening to it over and over again. Head Up by The Score. Dude, this is not rock. Alright? Imagine Dragons sounding head-ass. Not gonna lie, man. It's corporate, it's generic, it's uninspired, blah blah blah, heading out. I'm heading out. I'm not heading up, I'm heading out, dude. It's bad. It's 1 out of 5, man. It's just so fucking boring. Wrecked by Imagine Dragons. I'm actually surprised this isn't a bad track, but again, I have to ask, you know, why do people keep putting Imagine Dragons with rock? Maybe they had some rock beginnings, but when, you know, when the pop genre overtakes what mostly is rock, then it's no longer rock. Just because it has a guitar, just because it has solo, doesn't mean that it's rock, you know? It's a pop song with rock influences, but at least for this song specifically, I don't hate it. 2 out of 5, it's not for me. It's alright, it's an okay song, it's not for me. I Wanna Be Your Slave by Mainskin. Again, surprisingly, I didn't outright hate the song. I mean, there's not much real instrumentals to keep me interested. The guitar does sound okay. It's not bad, it's okay. It's 2 out of 5. It's not for me, though. It's nothing I like listening to. Meant to Be by Avery Burke x Mash Bit. It's a rock version of another type of song. I actually haven't found out what the other song is, but it has that fake out again. Lots of energy in the beginning, loses it by the first verse. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. Basically, this thing has like everything that I hate in a song. The solo doesn't really stand out that much. I can hear them trying to do a solo, but it doesn't really stand out as much. That'd be good if like the rhythm carried the entire song, but I really don't blame the mixer. Or actually, no, I wrote here that I do blame the mixer. Maybe it was the mixer that wasn't making the solo stand out because they didn't want to make their main audience be afraid. You know, they didn't want them to think, oh man, this is too heavy. Oh lord, oh you know, grab the Bible, honey. You know, we don't want them to listen to this satanic solo guitar thing, whatever. It's an emotional song. It's another one of those. It's kind of boring. 2 out of 5, not my taste. Punching Bag by Palais Royale. It has a lot of emo angst. What the fuck is wrong with me today? I've heard worse screaming vocals. I mean, it's kind of an acquired taste for this one. I do like the production, but it's not one of those songs that was made for me. I'm not the audience. I'm sure somebody else out there probably has, enjoys the taste, which, you know, like, good for you, man. You know, if you like the song, you like the song. It's 2 out of 5 for me. Jubilee by Crash Course, 2 out of 5. All right, it's an experimental kind of song, or not the entire song, but at least just the opening. It shifts to more standard tune later on. It's a little too mumbly for my taste, but I do like the psychedelic vibes to it, you know. One thing that I have in my notes here is that they legit, for the music video, they were using a bunch of like old movie footage, like old animated footage, and I noticed that they actually took out a scene from Rock and Rule, which, I mean, that's just kind of hilarious, you know. It's just so out of place. I'm the biggest thing since World War III, girls. His name is Mark. Thanks a lot. You think he's playing, but he's not. Dancing with the Dead by Powerwolf. 2 out of 5. Now, it's not a bad song whatsoever. It's a nicely produced song. It has a lot of things going for it. The reason why I give it a 2 out of 5, at least for me, for my rating, you know, to be consistent, is just the fact that it's not my kind of song. You know, it's one of those like epic sounding songs. You know, it's one of those that talks about a story, you know, about something that happened that's like honorable, or just something hugely epic, maybe adventure or something like that. I understand where, you know, people who enjoy this kind of music are coming from. It's something, you know, you sing with the boys, brothers in arms, you know, and stuff like that. I wouldn't listen to it regularly, but you know what? You catch me in a pub, you put one of these on, you know, I'm sure I'll be singing with the boys. Shattered by Sydney Harte. It is a pretty good breakup song, you know, but it's not in that usual fashion where it's all just kind of depressive or whatever. Rather, it's a really upbeat kind of song. I do love the guitar. I like the instrumentals. It's really catchy. I would give this a 4 out of 5. I actually do like the singer's voice as well. The chorus is extremely catchy, not to mention the solo. I do like the fact that this song has a pretty good guitar-focused solo. It's has some skill behind it. You know, of course, it's not going to be something like Joe Satriani, but, you know, it's something worth listening to. I believe so. Overall, I do like the amount of energy that she has. It's a good song. It really is. 4 out of 5. Shattered by The Killers featuring Bruce Springsteen. Now, I have heard about Bruce Springsteen, but I haven't really listened to his music. I should probably do that afterwards, because I'm probably getting a bunch of dislikes just by that comment alone. The song itself starts with a good ballad. It has some emotion. It does pick up midway through the song, so it's more of a burst. I do like the song a lot. You know, The Killers is just one band that never seems to disappoint. Maybe sometimes, but for the most part, you know, it's a great composition. It carries a lot of emotion. I will be listening to it again. 4 out of 5. Finally, the last Anthem by Tenside. It's another one of those songs that just loses its energy immediately after the intro. Can we please stop doing this? Please carry some of that energy. Don't just, you know, change the tempo once you get to the first verse. I mean, I understand what you're trying to do. Could you maybe, like, gradually do it? I have no idea. It's just one of those things. I like the music video. I like the screaming vocals. It has some pretty good heaviness to it. Probably didn't have to be 4 minutes. And that is, you know, for September, as of September 5th, 2021, those are some new rock songs that I have listened to. I have them all in a I have the original playlist down below. I don't think I'm going to have the entire playlist because, again, I don't want to, you know, I don't want anything to do with the bad songs. So, you know, I'll leave a playlist down below of all the good songs that I like, you know, 3 and above. If you want to listen to any of the bad songs, you can search it up. There's not that many. I mean, it's like, what, like 24 bad songs? But if I had to choose, you know, 5 songs that kind of were like, you know, kind of that mainstream, you know, song recommendations that anybody can listen to, not just, you know, not just to us, you know, rock fanatics. Here are the 5 songs. Freaks by Surf Curse is a nice, gentle song. Summer Rain, Hold Her Hand is one of those nice, like, love songs. You got Play Pretend, which I think, you know, there's some people out there who actually enjoy that kind of vocal performance. Although, you know, Quiet Town by The Killers, another emotional song. It's pretty good. Carries a lot of weight to it. And Start Making Sense. It's a fun song, alternative indie. I'm sure, you know, people are going to appreciate those if you take it out to a party or something. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you for listening. If you found any new songs yourself that you would like to share, you know, put it down in the comments below. I'll probably add it to the next playlist for the next time I do one of these videos. If there, for whatever reason, I have a stupid opinion and, you know, you need to tell me about it, again, down in the comments. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Thank you for listening, and rock on.